fans? It's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined now with the one and only David Haye. Dee, it's good to see you.
Good to see you also. Having a good time here in Vegas?
Yeah, I live in Vegas now, so
Left Manchester.
Yes.
Good
Yes,
change.
I have.
Happy with the change?
Yeah, I mean, you know how it goes. You just sort of get used to being everywhere. It's not. I don't really have like a base home. I feel like I just travel the world and kind of live at certain places for like a week, a month, whatever.
Yeah, Vegas.
You know how it goes with your training camps and stuff.
I know what it's like. I like to bounce around also. So I've been here for the last couple of weeks in Vegas playing poker. So that's been fun. Shout out to Grove the Casino. I'm out here representing them. But I've been playing terrible. I've got this big game on the 1st of December, the Hayemaker Knockout Series final. I do on this Wednesday, go to Grove the Casino app, download the poker app, and I've got this game where you can win $3,000, but you win a seat on the 1st of December's live poker. I'm terrible at.
Okay, hold on.
I'm terrible at digital online poker. I like to get a feel for people. So.
Okay, so I saw your documentary.
Oh, what do you think?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
What I thought was, I'm surprised you kept doing it because you seemed to not enjoy it at first. You seemed to be very
it was
bored with.
I'm in that frustrated zone right now.
Okay.
If people don't know what you're talking about, go to Amazon Prime. There's a documentary called David versus Goliath. It's about my journey in poker, and it's a fun documentary, but it shows how I need to learn. So this is what I'm doing. I'm over here playing 4 or 5 hours every day poker. So on the 1st, I'll be able to be in some sort of shape to win the competition.
So you enjoy it now?
Not at the moment. It's very frustrating. I enjoy it when I'm winning.
Keeping it real.
But I haven't been winning that often recently.
Okay.
But I just keep coming in. I'm getting better and better, and I just need more sparring, more hours in.
You learn through your mistakes, don't you? So
exactly. So I've been doing lots of learning over here. That's for damn sure.
hopefully not too much loss though, like in financial loss.
It's been okay. It's been okay. I've sort of broken even kind of, but I just need more hours playing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm poker rusty.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Last time I saw you, we were in Miami, where you fought your friend. Good old Joe Fournier. Post fight, you took me a little bit off guard, I'll admit, when you called out Tyson Fury. Is that still something that you want, or what?
Right at the very moment, right now, I haven't done any exercise for 10 weeks. I'm doing this thing where I'm documenting what happens to the human body when you just live a regular lifestyle and don't do exercise. So I've done no exercise in 10 weeks. I've been eating with everybody else, letting other people order my food. And, when you're like, I'm not in that physical place where I'm running. Like, for instance, that night, I just got in there, just had a little shakeout, had a little boxing exhibition bout. So I was feeling the energy. Right now, I'm not feeling the energy. Once I get back into shape, I'll start feeling the energy, then I'll start talking about it then. But, yeah, the only fight I said I'd take is the number one in the division. If you're ever going to do a comeback, it has to be for the biggest possible situation. It doesn't get any bigger and more number one than Tyson Fury. So, yeah.
Well, you not eating and putting on some extra weight actually benefits you going back in.
Not the way I'm doing it. Believe me, I've done no exercise. So, but having that extra bit of body fat, it doesn't really work for me. I can feel it. It brings my whole energy and mood down. But I've got another 2 weeks of this crazy diet thing, and then I can go back onto a healthy regimen.
So explain that. So you're putting on the weight. You're gonna in 2 weeks.
You're just
eating whatever.
I'm eating whatever, letting my body just do what it does with no exercise for 12 weeks. What happens to your body when you just live? You don't do exercise and just live your life.
Yeah.
And then what do you do when you're on a 3 to 5 hours a week exercise program with a strict-ish diet, which allows you to eat whatever foods you kind of want, cutting out the foods that you don't need, and look what happens to your body over that same 12-week period. And I think people will be quite shocked how much you can manipulate the human body with just timings of food, the types of food, and doing certain types of training. I'm trying to show people a way how to get the body that they kind of want without putting in the 3 hours of training every day. There's a way to do certain types of training which gives you more benefits to long-term, aesthetically looking how you want to.
But are you also going to do like the scientific side of it, which is showing how it could lower your cholesterol?
All my blood work's getting done at the whole time, so you'll be able to see exactly what everything is and how most people live.
Do you remember the documentary? It was on Netflix ages ago, where it was a guy ate McDonald's every single day for like a year.
He nearly killed himself.
Yes.
He nearly killed himself three times a day, and they supersized it if he said it. Yeah, I'm not doing that, and I would never do that to her. I'd not do it. I'm eating well. That's it. I'm eating well. I'm not taking a piss. I'm eating well, but I feel like
you're happy with your food. You're just happy.
I'm happy. I literally just when I stuff my face in, I feel happy. I feel bloated and heavy now. I'm eating in a very different way than I normally do. And my energy levels, my sleep, I just feel terrible, like really, really bad. And I cannot wait for this phase to be over so I can stop eating so much.
T-minus 2 weeks for you.
T-minus 2 weeks. Oh, yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens to the human body when you manipulate certain things.
Right. Well, it'd be nice to see if you would consider getting back into the ring again. Did you hear about Triller is now having that Triad Combat? Have you heard of it?
Is it when they have the different fighters on the triangle ring? Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Any type of combat, any type of new type of combat, I love. Yeah. I love it. I was a big fan of when, even before people knew about the UFC, I was watching cage fights or mixed martial arts tournaments from years and years ago. I love combat. I love watching different styles with different rules, and chucking another one into the mix. I'm sure whatever they'll do, they'll make it fun and sexy.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to make it a more of an even playing field for when MMA fighters fight boxers and boxers fight MMA fighters. So
one way each. Yeah. One does the MMA. Well,
their fight it's Frank Mir versus Kubrat Pulev.
That's a good fight. I actually saw Pulev in real fight gym just off the strip. A few days ago. He looks in good shape, and he said, I think he was telling me about it. He's pretty confident he's gonna smash him. So we want to see that good world level heavyweight.
It's interesting to see how much the landscape of boxing's changed since you were last fighting, which was only a few years ago, max. Isn't it?
Over 3 years. Yeah, you got new television networks. You got new promoters popping up. You got. You got the big rise of the sort of social media boxers. Right. It's really, things have changed. The landscape is completely different than it's ever been before. Right. A lot of people are talking about, the Tommy Fury challenging Jake Paul. That's so many people. It's honestly that's what I'm hearing from people. You have me. So people are saying, have you heard this? Tommy Fury apparently is Tyson Fury's brother, and he's going to be fighting. It's weird how people look at the whole setup. Is really, really interesting. I'm
super curious to know what your thoughts are on Tyson Fury vowing to disown his brother if he does not beat Tommy Fury. Jake Paul. Yeah. What do you make of that?
I think it's a bit harsh. It really. I remember I laughed. I did laugh at it, but what people genuinely forget is I know Tommy Fury's supposed to be in boxing since he was a kid, but he hasn't. Otherwise, he'd have been internationally boxing as an amateur, and he hasn't done that because I haven't seen it. Maybe he's done it, but I haven't seen it. But even the fights he has had as a professional, he doesn't feel like he's in the stage of his career where the big night, he's going to rise to the occasion. He hasn't showed anything yet. And it's a lot of pressure on someone to lose their family name. That means everything to him. Imagine that your big brother's the heavyweight champion of the world. The fucking man, and he's saying, if you lose your fight, I'm disowning you. Oh, fucking hell, what kind of pressure, that's kind of mad pressure that is.
And the wager is, if Jake Paul loses, he pays Tommy Fury $500,000, and then if Jake wins, Tommy unfortunately loses his brother, and he uses his family name, and he has to change his name to Tommy Fumbles.
It sounds funny. I think it's hilarious. I think that's the best marketing gimmick ever in a box. I think it's just the funniest thing ever.
Can you imagine if you guys were all doing that, though? How much more entertaining these fights would be?
That is the evolution of it. This crazy stuff, these crazy contract terms. But I feel like it's putting additional added pressure, which he doesn't really need. Tommy doesn't really need added pressure. Because Jake Paul, everyone keeps saying that Jake Paul's a YouTuber. I'm like, no, he's actually a boxer. He's a boxer. He's actually fought people who are really trying to beat him. And he's been able to rise to the occasion. and he lives the life of a professional fighter. You know, BJ Flores is a very, very good friend of mine. Since the day dot has been telling me, you know, I've seen his sparring, I've seen him develop, every time he spars, I'm hearing how he's a young contender. He's a young guy coming through, like any other guy would be at 10 or 5, 6 fights. He's got a full team of good quality sparring partners pressing him, and he's learning behind closed doors. So people who are writing Jake Paul off, thinking he's just an internet guy, they got it all wrong. And people thinking that Tommy Fury is just so much better a boxer, I'm like, okay, what fights were they that you make your decision by?
Right.
Who had that guy beaten that he beat? And you look deeper, he hasn't really done much. Jake Paul's opponents were world champions in another sport, not in boxing. None of them have, but maybe it's what happens behind closed doors is what's going to happen, and this is going to transpire to be the big factor in this.
Are you going to be in Tampa for that fight?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be a good fight.
Yeah.
Be a good fight to go to. The amount of hype for a fight with two novices, really,
right,
who are just new to the game, new to the pro game, and they're generating this much hype. It's on pay-per-view.
Well, you know Tyson Fury's going to be there. It could be a nice little run-in between the two of you.
A little bit of banter between the two of us. No, but listen, it's a lot of pressure on Tommy. I feel bad for him because of this. You know, it's like, yeah, you got to win, but if you don't win, you're out the family. That's like sometimes in a fight you need to feel calm, you need to feel peace, you need to be able to focus on the job in hand. Not if you take a big shot in the first round thinking, shit, I'm gonna have to change my name. And you got to be thinking about what happens in the fight. And he hasn't been through those fights where he's had to really struggle to then know how to keep his mind right to get to the finishing line. So I'm saying he's a novice in boxing terms. He hasn't had to go through any crisis, and he might have to go through one.
Right.
When they fight, is that the 18th of December?
Yes. Yeah.
Not long away now.
Well, I'll be there to see it. I'm super curious as to when you were last fighting at Cruiserweight.
Yeah.
We now have Canelo Alvarez jumping up to face Makabu. What do you make of this whole situation? Like,
I think the universe has found a way for Makabu to be the WBC champion at a time where we're looking at someone who looks unbeatable to push the boundaries to see how far he can really take it. Makabu, as far as I'm aware, he's free to fight wherever in the world against whoever he wants. WBC champion. It's another belt. It makes him a 5-time world champion if he can beat Makabu. Makabu's a big hitter, massive puncher on paper when you look at his record. But when you really look at the people he's knocked out, not that many massive recognizable names. Can he land that shot on someone who most welterweights, couldn't touch? Look at Caleb Plant the other day. He just got slowly ground down. But can he do it against someone that much bigger? I think he can. I think I'd back Canelo to win the Cruiserweight title, for sure. Makabu's naturally so much bigger than him. But if he's ever going to do it, it's not going to be against Lawrence Okoli. No one will ever mention that. It just makes zero sense for everyone. You know, maybe it makes sense for Okoli because he's got an easy night's work. But
you don't think he'll stay if he wins the WBC Cruiserweight? He won't stay at Cruiser.
It's the same situation as when Roy Jones moved up to fight John Ruiz to win the WBA title, then went back down to fight Antonio Tarver. It's one of those situations which works out fine, contractually, financially. He can go to, it'll be a massive, massive fight, 5-time world title. Would he be an underdog? I don't think so. I don't think he'll be an underdog. But if it goes to points, he's won the fight for sure, regardless of what happens. But can Makabu catch him and hurt him and use the size? It's a really, really intriguing fight. But I rate Canelo so highly, I think it's going to take, it's going to take someone very, very special to beat him.
Would Canelo have moved up in the time where you were champion, when Alexander Usyk reigned as champion? Do you think he would have taken those type of challenges?
It's the size difference and I doubt it. I think it's the perfect scenario. I wouldn't want Canelo to fight Tyson Fury. It's just too big. It's too tall a task. It's like, no, I wouldn't want
fucking hell, at this point, I don't doubt that can happen one day.
But against Makabu, I'd be like, okay, I can see how he could win this fight.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested. If it's a fight I don't think he could win, I wouldn't want to see him fight a Coley. I just wouldn't want to see it because it'd just be horrible. I would hate to see a hero of mine just losing because it's just his size decisive is just too fast, you know. But if he's someone's not that big and he can use his skill set, then I think he's got a chance of doing the 5-time world title champion.
Definitely interesting times. I remember I asked Canelo after he fought Callum Smith. I asked him about cruiserweight, and he said no. It's too much. It's too much. So it's interesting to see how that turn of events.
Yeah, because remember, when I thought wrongly that Kovalev would have been too big. I was really worried that he'd just bitten off too much. I thought he's taking it too far. And when I saw him weigh in, I was like, the size difference is too much. And he was taking some stick in that fight, but he got to him. And after he proved to me on that night that that size difference don't make that much difference. I don't think Makabu is that much bigger in height-wise difference to Kovalev. I think they're kind of similar, but he's just a lot more thick set. And he might be coming down from heavyweight to cruiserweight. So when he might get in the ring, he might be 215 for all you know. So it's as I'm saying, it's a tough ask. But if anyone can do it, Canelo can.
And lastly, I want to ask you, Bob Arum said that there's a pretty good chance that Joyce could actually become Tyson Fury's next opponent if they can't sort out the WBC legal issues that they have going on with Dillian Whyte, which always seems to be there's something stopping, always a damn issue, which is unfortunate because he deserves the shot up by now.
The thing is, in boxing, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you get what you negotiate, and that's it. You know, lots of people. I might not have deserved to get half the accolades I got, but I negotiated them, so I got them. And that's the thing. Sometimes you just got to look at what's been happening in the past. And think, okay, has it worked the way I've been doing it? And if it hasn't, maybe try and find another angle because
Is it too soon for Joe? Would you like to see Joe?
No, I think Joe's ready to go. He's been ready to go for a while. He's ready to go. He is who he is. He can take the shot. He's got the engine. The only thing that's going to happen by prolonging it is he just gets stale. He needs to be in big fights, good fights to get the best out of himself. So I think who else is there for him to fight to prove that he should if it's ever going to be his time, it's going to be now. So he's just got to get busy, get those fights. If he gets the opportunity to fight Fury, he should jump at it. He sparred with him in the past before, so he knows what he's dealing with, and he can take a dig. That's for damn sure. He lets his hands go. He's proved that against Dubois, and
Tyson stopped someone like Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce got a incredible chin.
He has. If he can hit him enough. Any heavyweight can stop any heavyweight if you allow him to hit you enough. If he doesn't get hit that much, Otto Wallen went 12 rounds with Tyson Fury. If Otto Wallen can go 12 rounds with him, I think Joe can go 12 rounds with him as well. It's just what happens in those 12 rounds is pretty important.
Well, Dee, thank you so much for your time. I could sit here and talk to you forever and ever and ever and ever, but
got shit to do.
Shit to do today. There's a fight to watch tonight. But yeah, so it's good seeing you again, and all the best to you in your poker. I admire your determination.
Something like that. Remember, Wednesday, 8 p.m. It's a free poker competition. Win $3,000 if you win that. December 1st, come and play me live at the Vic Casino, Grosvenor Casino, and I can knock you out there in real life, in person.
All right, thanks so much, Dee. I appreciate it. All right, bye, Fight fans. Hey, Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking this icon right here and hit the bell button below so that you can receive an alert every time we upload a new video.